Hi guys, it's Frankie from Frankie Tech. Good to see you guys again, and here to share my ANTUTU throttling test between the Oppo Find X5 Pro, the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra, and the Vivo IQOO 9 Pro. Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 phones and the Snapdragon 888. Which phone is gonna come out on top in this grueling ANTUTU throttling test? Let's have a look. So here we are, folks, a gorgeous lineup of Android flagships from 3 different companies. You know the drill. We're not going to be doing just 1, 2, but 3 ANTUTU throttling tests and seeing the results. Can these phones hold up with this most extreme of tests on the channel? Here we go. And here we go, folks, and you know the drill. We'll be testing out at 100% battery, and they are all going to be running on performance mode. And of course, while we're doing this test, measuring the temperatures of these phones with my FLIR camera on the Ulefone Armor 11 5G. And here you see the results from the previous tests. Disregard these results. We're going to get some new benchmarks right now. And as you can see, we have all apps closed in memory. Let's get started by testing again. Here we go. Alright, test number 1 completed, folks, and look at these results. 804,000 on the Find X5 Pro, 1 million on the IQOO 9 Pro, and 774,000 on the Mi 11 Ultra. Now you may be wondering, this is a pretty low result here on the Find X5 Pro. I've noticed, guys, this phone is having a little bit of issues here, and I'm not sure if it's due to software updates or what, but I have not reached, the 900 or million levels of other Snapdragon 8 Gen phones with this phone. But either way, we have a look here, 11 degree increase versus 10 versus 9, and measuring the temperature, you can see I'm measuring a temperature of around 41 though, versus around 40 degrees. And 39.5 on the Mi 11 Ultra. There you see all the phones, pretty similar temperatures for all of them. And as you can see, the temperature in the room is around 24, 25 degrees. It's definitely getting warmer as these phones go through this test. Let's go to test number 2 now, and let's see how these phones hold up. Here we go. Alright, folks, test number 2 completed, and oh boy, are we seeing some interesting results here. 704,000 versus 986, 737 on the Mi 11 Ultra, and there's no doubt about it, guys. The Oppo Find X5 Pro has definitely dropped down quite a bit, but tell me if you also noticed that the IQOO 9 Pro was getting very dim during certain parts of this test. I'm not sure what's up with that, but regardless, these results are still really good. And now let's have a look though at the temperatures, because I do think this X5 Pro is heating up. 42.4, 43 degrees on the IQOO, and around 42 degrees on the Mi 11 Ultra. And you can definitely see here the IQOO 9 Pro is probably the hottest. And just FYI, guys, that is just the reflection of my light. It is not actually the phone itself. Let's go to test number 3 to wrap this up and see who takes the ANTUTU throttling test. Here we go. Alright, folks, test number 3 completed, and these are the results. 691,000 for the Find X5 Pro, 975 for the IQOO 9 Pro, and 746 for the Mi 11 Ultra. And as you can see, the IQOO 9 Pro has definitely dimmed its display. The Find X Pro is still the brightest display of them all, but it has also dropped the most of these 3 phones. And now looking at the temperatures, let's see where they are. 44.5 on the X5 Pro. Wow, we are really hot. 46 plus on the IQOO 9 Pro, and around 42.5 on the Mi 11 Ultra. So that's it for this test. Let's let these phones cool down, and let's talk about the final results. So here we are, folks, with the final results. And first off, let's give out the battery award. So which phone was able to have the least amount of battery used in this test? In third place, the IQOO 9 Pro with 81%. That means 19% battery used. 85 on the Mi 11 Ultra, so a 15% battery used. And I just saw it there, just went to 85, but it was at 86 at the end of this test. And it is the winner. Only 14% used by the time the test was over with this phone. But now we get to it, the actual throttling part of the test. And in third place, it's unfortunate, but it is the Oppo Find X5 Pro, dipping over 100,000 points in this test. Now I will give this credit, it maintained a bright display the whole time. And I think because of that, it did suffer a little bit with the throttling. Now the Oppo Find X5 Pro is great in daily use. I've had no issues with it, but there's no denying it. This phone definitely throttled in this test, dipping over 100,000 points and comes in third place. Let's hope with software updates we see better sustained performance on this Oppo Find X5 Pro. And in second place, we have the Mi 11 Ultra, which dipped from its very high 700,000 score to 746. Still a pretty solid result, and it did not use as much battery as well. It's actually cool to the touch compared to some of these other phones. So the Mi 11 Ultra on MIUI 13 is actually performing really well on this test. But there's always going to be a first place, and while it did have some controversy here with the slightly dimming display, there's no denying first place to the IQOO 9 Pro, which hit 1 million in its first result and dipped only 25,000 points. Yes, it did use a little bit more battery, but this is an ANTUTU throttling test, and given the results, this phone definitely throttled the least of these three phones, and is your winner of this ANTUTU throttling test. But hit me up in the comments. What are your thoughts on these results, and which of these phones do you think won this test? I mean, you could go either way, whether you want better battery life preserved or if you want a phone to just go all the way out. But when it comes to the ANTUTU throttling test, the IQOO 9 Pro is the winner. But hit me up in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. And that's it for this video. If you liked it, give me that thumbs up. And if you love the content of Frankie Tech, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon for future updates. Now the Mi 11 Ultra is slipping and sliding, better wrap this one up. So that's it. And this is where I leave you by saying, this is Frankie Tech signing off. Have a good one. A solid result from a gaming beast. Oh yeah.